Dear students, now let's study the nature and scope of disaster. So we have to take following things into consideration, or these are the important facts like pre-disaster phase. In pre-disaster phase, the disaster is about to occur, and this is the period of time before the occurrence of any disaster. So this is known as a pre-disaster phase. The next is warning phase. In warning phase, a first-hand knowledge is provided to the people about the onset of any disaster, so that the people will take necessary precautions. And we have already experienced this because when on June 3rd, 2020, this year, when Nisarga cyclone was about to occur, lots of warning were given to the people, especially into the Konkan area. And such kind of things is known as a warning phase, because the first hand knowledge or the warning is given to the people, so that they can protect themselves from such kind of disaster. So that is the meaning of warning phase. Then the next is emergency phase. This is the actual action phase, because whatever necessary action has to be taken into this phase. And this phase is very important. This period of time is very important, because this is that period in which the disaster is going on. So we have to provide help to the people in this phase especially. So this is the phase of action, of actual action. And if necessary precautions are taken and if necessary help is provided, we can protect the life and property to much extent from the disaster. Then rehabilitation phase. In rehabilitation phase, it takes a quite long period of time for the rehabilitation phase, because this is the phase of reconstruction, or uh, to set all the lost things. So this is the meaning of rehabilitation phase. Then recovery phase, all the recovery will be done into this phase. And then the reconstruction, all the reconstruction of the buildings and the houses and whatever things are lost, so we have to reconstruct it back. So those all things will be included into the reconstruction phase. Then, taking into consideration the nature and the scope of disaster, only three aspects of disaster are important for common citizens. And from this first is phase of emergency, that I've talked about the emergency phase. Important character of this phase is that maximum lives can be saved by quick actions during this phase only. So as I told you, that this phase is the phase of quick action or actual action. So various actions like search and rescue operations, medical assistance, first aid, restoring communication services, removing the people from affected area are expected in this phase. And the gravity, that means the severity of a disaster, can be estimated in this phase only. Then the next phase is transitional phase. Rehabilitation work is started in this phase. That means the reconstruction work will be started into this phase after the subsidence of any type of disaster. It includes clearing of debris, then restoring of water supply, repairing roads, etc. All these things will be done into the transitional phase. And the things will be expected to come back to the normal condition. So everybody will try to bring life to a normal condition into this phase. Then rehabilitation of the victims is an important aspect. Generally, different institutes offer the monetary. Monetary means financial help is provided to such people. For example, when we saw uh, 2 years back, Kerala was heavily flooded. So other states were also providing financial help to Kerala. So this is the thing which happens into the transitional phase. Then it helps to soothe the mental stress at the earliest if these victims are offered with permanent mean of earning livelihood, and this is true rehabilitation. So if the people who are affected with the disasters are given a permanent mean of earning, or if they are given proper financial help by which they can start their own business, such kind of things if they done to the people, they can really decrease their mental stress which they have been going through because of the disaster. Then the next is deconstruction phase. In this phase is highly complicated, and it takes a long period of time for the reconstruction of phase, because people has to reconstruct their buildings, and the facilities like roads and water supplies has to be restored. Farming practices will be restarted. So earth has experienced various kinds of such disasters, and Deconstruction phase requires quite a big time, a period of time, for the things to get back to the normal. Then in reality, old problems of several years will become fears, means will become more serious, and the problem of the ever increasing population will also give rise to various kinds of new problems. So such kind of things have increased after World War II, and also various reasons like economic inequality, racial and religious differences, then terrorism, social differences. This is also added to the problems, and the problems have become worse. So rest of the things we shall learn into next video.